What's up, guys? Welcome back once again to Cry About It, the podcast about all those songs that make us so happy to be so sad. Today, I'm joined by two very special guests. I have John and Zach from Karma Kids. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Good. Thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Good. How are you?
So you guys have been coming across my radar constantly. I've been getting your name dropped to me by people that I really respect in the music industry. So when the opportunity came up to hop on this call, I was very excited to do it because you're kind of an enigma to me. You kind of came out of nowhere, and now you're everywhere that I'm looking. So, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So one of the things that really hit me, everybody, if you talk to them, I'm an old school pop punk guy, emo kid. I'm one of the the elder emos that they talk about on TikTok now.
Oh yeah, the seniors.
Oh, I like that, seniors.
That's
okay.
what they were calling it.
Nice. I can dig that. I might actually make a shirt about that. But what I saw, and I think it's a really cool, accurate description of you guys. You call yourself emo core. So I think that's really neat because as I dove down the rabbit hole of discovery for this interview, your songs are kind of all over the place. There is some metalcore, but then there's like songs that are just like straight pop punk, and then there's songs that are like kind of like that new age alt stuff, and
Yeah.
and it's all over the place. So what would you guys consider your influences? Because I think it's everything.
It is everything. As for myself, I listen to a little bit of the harder stuff. These Nuts actually is huge with me. The Ghost Inside to like Taking Back Sunday, Hawthorne Heights, My Chemical Romance, all to like the new age pop punk, MGK, If I Die First, bands like that. Those are some of my influences.
I am like the classics, Blink-182 and Green Day are my favorite bands. I love Taking Back Sunday. For the newer stuff, I've gotten into Neck Deep and State Champs a lot in the last few years. I love what MGK is doing. We should bought tickets to see him the other day. Hopefully those happen and aren't postponed. But yeah, I really think this genre is on the up and up again.
So a couple things I want to touch on there. First of all, I'm just glad to, as we said, I'm a senior, and I feel like a lot of the people who are my age or come from the time in the scene that I came from really were dumping on Machine Gun Kelly, and I've been an adamant supporter of it since the minute it dropped. And I'm talking like I kind of saw it coming. And I was like, okay, when he started putting some music out with Youngblood and some of those songs, I was like, that's a pop punk song. Like,
Yeah.
He's gonna put out a pop punk album. Like I was watching it happen, and I was like, that's what's coming. And then it did, and I love it because what I think a lot of people don't realize is if a scene doesn't keep going and bring in new people, it dies. So I don't care if it's like Lil Wayne. Well, Lil Wayne tried to do the rock thing and it kind of sucked, but I don't care who it is. If Dr. Dre wants to put out a pop punk album and it's going to bring all these new kids who maybe wouldn't listen to that in, that's awesome to me. Now, I would have liked to have seen this tour have like a Neck Deep or a State Champs as an opening band. Like, I definitely think like Jaden and some of the acts on there, like I would have liked to see Trippie Redd on the tour too, to be honest, because his album's the most pop punk album that any of them put out, I think. So you guys, like your feeling on that, like where do you guys see that going? Because I think like Mod Sun, I think the best pop punk albums of the year, honestly, have been put out by former rappers.
I was about to say that. I really, really enjoy listening to some of these new age SoundCloud rappers making the switch over to pop punk with seeing how successful MGK is with it. Kenny Hoopla, he's on that tour. I found him on accident like 3 weeks ago. And I actually sent Estella the song to John, and I was like, dude, look at this. I think he's going to come out way ahead of it. I think he's going to do way better, with it than MGK is doing with it, just because he has that natural tone to his voice that's got that classic, like, not necessarily neck deep, but I can't remember. I don't know where I was going with that.
There's a lot of bands in the world. Don't ever worry about that. But yeah, I completely agree, and I think that there's a lot of them that are putting out good music, and like any wave, there's going to be staying power, and there's going to be people that don't. But I think it's a good thing for music overall. And I think you had your Good Charlotte, and then you had all the bands that came after Good Charlotte and New Found Glory that were put on by that. So
Yeah,
I think it's good. So you guys are from Indianapolis, Indiana, huh?
Yeah.
We are.
What's the music scene like in Indianapolis, Indiana? Because when I think of it, it's so here. I've been a concert promoter for most of my life, all of my adult life, right? So you're talking 15, 16 years now, maybe more. I'm not good at math, but since I was like 16 years old. So first band that comes to my mind, it has nothing heavy to do with it, right? It's Margot and the Nuclear So-and-Sos. So that's like, that comes to my mind immediately. But then I started digging through some files and seeing where I was. Gwen Stacy, which
that's a huge one in these parts.
would make a little sense. And then I don't know if you guys are old enough to know these guys, but Burn It Down was one of my favorite bands from out that way. I don't know if they were directly from Indianapolis, but they were an Indiana band.
Haste the Day was Indianapolis, weren't they, John?
Yep.
Okay.
I thought so. And then you had Trenches later on when Haste the Day was no more. Amarna Rain was a huge one. They were smaller, but still pretty big in this area. It's metalcore mostly, in all honesty. Metalcore rules our music scene. John had a pretty really successful actually pop punk band that was well known in Indiana and surrounding states. So following their pursuit, we had some pretty decent pop punk bands too. And then it's rap. Like there's a lot of underground rap.
Nice. I feel like and it makes sense with like the Kenny Hooplas and the Jadens and people like that. I feel like it's weird to say, but like there was like this like weird time where music got expensive to do, and a lot of these kids, it was hard to put a band together. They would have been in pop punk bands and punk bands, but they became SoundCloud rappers instead. The kids that couldn't get a band together, and that's why I think that sound is so prevalent. And now you're seeing that evolution. I think that was like or the kids who didn't have enough people to put a band together, like had that opportunity to make that music, which I think is interesting. But so what's the deal with Legend Recordings? I see you guys little mentions of them on your Facebook here and there. I think they're one of the coolest labels out there right now that are doing some of the coolest stuff. I know Chris a little bit. I respect the hell out of him. I think he's like one of the best marketing minds in music, and I also think that he's one of the best just like band guys at a label right now. Like he gets it. Are you guys on the label, or is it like just some support that they're working with you guys on? What's going on there?
We have a distribution deal with them, so they're putting our stuff out, and then we're working with a lot of behind the scenes stuff with him. He's been fucking awesome for us.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
Great guy to have in your corner for sure. So congratulations on that link, whatever comes of it or what it may be. So from there, as I said, you guys like, it's really an enigma to me. I was trying to like put all these puzzle pieces together because everything was like all like so different. like I started researching and I'm like, okay, they're pretty new to Instagram, but they're verified, so that's awesome. And then I dive onto your YouTube, and the video for Nothing Left to Lose. First of all, the song's great. Compliments on that.
Thank you.
The video's incredible.
Thank you.
Did an awesome job in that video. What was the process of that video coming out? Was it, did you guys like, is that your idea? Did you work with a team? What came with that?
So we shot one first with this guy, and it turned out to be, for lack of a better word, just awful. And we So our buddy that I do a lot of work with, both like audio and video. He's been a part of pretty much every band I've been in. So we shot it originally with someone else, and it turned out to be pretty bad. And he reshot it for us, and it came out just, we were so happy with it. He glued everything together that we were kind of missing or not really hitting on the head the way we should, and he really just turned that into what it needed to be.
Well, it turned out great. And also I think that, like, so talking to you guys, this isn't your first endeavor into music, right? You guys have been around for a while, from what I can tell
Yeah.
you. And I think that that's like something that a lot of bands can learn from, is that, like, you got a crap video and you ate it as a loss. You didn't just put it out because that's what you had. And it was like, well, we spent this money on it. You were like, well, whatever we're going to put out is going to be of quality. And I think I've noticed that across your entire brand of the band, that everything's super high quality that you put out. And I really like the image that you're putting forward.
That's John.
Thank you.
John is very particular on like the image he wants to portray and what he wants our stuff to look like. And if he thinks it's going to be like a B grade type thing, he's going to want nothing to do with it. John's been amazing at making sure that we're looking professional, acting professional, and just doing all of this stuff to make it look super legit. You know what I mean?
I do. I know exactly what you mean, because that's like I said, like, you're definitely an up and coming band still. Like, if I was to label you, right? Like, you're making waves, obviously, but you're up and coming. But I'm not seeing the same missteps, from an image standpoint that I see with a lot of people. Like, it's cohesive, it's professional, and it's all high quality. And that's more important now in music than it's ever been, regardless of genre. Where it used to be like, oh, the hip hop had to do that, or pop had to do that. Everything's visual now. So I really commend you guys on that.
Thank you.
So my favorite band in the world is Taking Back Sunday.
Love them.
You guys put out a cover of You're So last summer. And I'm like, so I've been around as long as there's been a, like, punk goes whatever, right? And I'm always hit or miss with them, but I'm usually a miss if it's somebody just doing the song like a cover band, right? Like, I want to see somebody take a song and make it their own. And I think you guys did that with this. So I definitely appreciated this song a lot when I listened to your version of it. So what was the process like with that? What brought about that song for you guys?
So when we did the double album of the heavy stuff, we actually started working on a cover of that, and there is a version on my hard drive where it's similar instrumentals, but it's screaming vocals. And when my buddy Jarrett, who runs Paul Mute Records, wanted to do the compilation, I thought it was a good time to kind of just retrack that and make it like update it to our current sound. And that record, Tell All Your Friends, even really in the remastered a bit, still there's this really high pitched frequency that's always bothered me on the vocals. And I really just wanted to hear that song with like really big production and without that really annoying frequency. So yeah, that was a lot of fun to do.
Actually, one of our guests on the podcast was Neil Rubenstein, who's the guy who actually screams on.
Okay, yeah.
On that song, he wasn't in the band. He was just like he was in a bunch of other very successful hardcore bands from Long Island, but he was just their buddy. That's awesome. On that, and he was one of our guests and told some wild stories about all the Long Island bands. If anybody listening wants to go back and listen to that,
he was on There's No I in Team and Head Club, and then in the Tell All Your Friends live CD and DVD, he did that with them.
Yeah, he did. Yep, and he's also on Brand New's first album too, which is kind of ironic. He does some screaming and wrote some lyrics for them on there too. So Sin City, I think, was the song that caught me the most by you guys. That's just that sounds nothing like anything else I was able to find by you. It's a pop punk gem, let's say. What was the difference in
Thank
writing
you.
that song versus the other ones?
I'm laughing
So,
because John and I just had a conversation about that song when we shot a music video this past week. He was like, man, I really don't like that song. So it's just funny that you said that you really like that one.
So I come from so here's I'm a pop punk side of music, right? Like that's more in my lane.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate heavy music. I've worked with heavy bands and I book it and I enjoy it. But like if you're gonna put like August Burns Red or Say Anything in front of me, I'm gonna go Say Anything 9 times out of 10 unless I'm
That's fair.
like in the mood, you know.
I
But
just got into Say Anything. I just got into Say Anything like a couple months ago, and I am like, I've never really listened to them, and I fucking love the self-titled album. It's so good.
it's very good. So are you the lyricist by chance for the band? Do you write the songs?
Yeah, I sing and I do most of the lyrics. Zach has been throwing some stuff at me lately, and I'm kind of just shaping it and turning it into. And another song was based off of some things that he had brought, but we'll touch on that later.
So yeah.
But
I mean,
I think we were as far as Sin City, we had just signed our distribution deal with Legend, and we Vibes, our record that's about to come out. We had it mostly done, just not the final takes recorded. So we wanted to just get something out now that we had this amazing distribution platform. So I just really sat down, took an afternoon, and just busted that song out, and was like, sure, that sounds like a single.
there you go. Yeah, anybody that I think writes lyrics can learn a lot from Max Bemis. He's
Yeah,
tortured soul, but a genius, you
yep.
know, and there's a lot going on, I think, recently with mental stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
you never take away from the songs that he was writing at 16 years old. They're classics forever, right? So let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
the
Yep.
elephant in the whole scene right now. Kellin Quinn on your album, on a song, right? How
Yeah.
did that come about?
Yep.
How does that come about for you guys?
I had the song recorded. I sent him a copy and said I'd love him to lay down on it. And the next day he sent back the tracks and he fucking killed it. He just exceeded what I pictured with it. And it was funny because when like I heard his voice on some of these songs just in my head when I was writing them, and I was like, I mean, that's obviously not going to happen. And then it is like, holy fuck. All right.
So is that a relationship you guys already had, or was it just an out of the blue ask, or was there a connection made there?
Just out of the blue.
That's awesome. Can't get any
Yeah.
better than that, right? So
And he's been super cool about a lot of stuff too. Like he's stayed in contact, and him and John talk. So that's been really cool too, that he, took the time to do that, and then even took the time to be like, hey, check out this song I was on. I posted it on Instagram, and then like checks up on us basically. Like that's awesome.
yeah, I mean, a great person to have checking up on you in general.
Yeah.
And then an even better person to have thrown you a retweet or a repost too, right? Like
Yeah.
added value there.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I got the email that song was going to drop, and I watched it, and then I saw like 35K overnight.
Yeah. We did a really some awesome marketing on that. It really just started doing well, and I'm like super happy with it. It's obviously marketing isn't cheap, but it definitely is worth it.
Without a doubt. I mean, so like, I don't know how many followers you guys have, but if it's monetized, I mean, you can buy a couple cheeseburgers for that. But in the long run, what you guys are getting out of those 35,000 views, and then all the press that surrounded it, like you were on every blog that I get updates on, so your name was out there for it. So time well spent.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Absolutely.
So that song be on the album?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Track 2.
Awesome. So, like I said, I'm fascinated by everything you guys are doing. I think you're checking all the boxes and doing it right. So there's a lot of young bands that listen to this, and I get reached out to for, different things sometimes. You had advice for a young band that's starting out right now. What would each of you say to them?
I would say keep at it. I've been in bands since 10th grade of high school. I'll be 30 this summer. Um, Persistence is key. Keep going. I mean, even if one project fails, move on to another one. Put all your time and effort into that one. Just keep it moving. Would be mine.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. My screen froze.
Oh, no problem. If you had any advice for like a young band out there, what would it be?
Take notice of what your image and brand is, and push it like it's a product. Have the authenticity of yourself in the music, but it is a business and it needs to be marketed and ran like one.
So you guys have a new song coming out today, right? Called Running Thin?
Yep.
What can we expect from that?
It's more of a ballad. Like it's got it's big, but I would say it's the ballad on the record. I will let Zach touch on that song a bit more.
Yeah, so the song actually is kind of like a memorial piece to my stepdad. He was in my life 15, 16 years. Oh, it was more than that. Regardless. He passed away October 29th, 2020 of COVID. And
Sorry to hear that.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. Today was kind of a rough day because it's like the 6-month anniversary. So it's been kind of weird, but the guys were the first people that I reached out to, aside from my fiance, when I got the phone call that they were actually going to take him off the ventilator and he was probably going to pass. And I messaged the guys and I'm like, I got, the word that I didn't want to get. I'm leaving work now. I'm going to the hospital with my mom to say goodbye. And John and I have a very special friendship. I haven't been friends with him super long, but we mesh, you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like sometimes out of the day, I get this feeling and then I talk to him and he's feeling the exact same way. Like, it's weird, but it's cool to have a friend like that. And that was one of the first things that he did. He sat down and he wrote out this chord progression, and he sent it to me and he's like, well, what do you think about this? And I'm like, this would be awesome. And then he kind of like took text messages that I was sending him about how I was feeling, and he was turning them into a story, like the lyrics to the song. So he did a really good job of depicting exactly how I was feeling when I didn't know how I was feeling. And this song is kind of like in memory to my stepdad. And then not too long after my stepdad passed away, John's wife's grandpa passed away from COVID as well. So then it was like I was able to kind of be there for him like he was there for me. And then he started working on the song more and more. So it kind of has like pieces of ourselves and our past family members in it. And I think that's what makes it so impactful. Yeah, it's just the song is basically dedicating, hey, we understand how you and 40,000 other Americans know, like how they feel. That's basically what the song is. It's just one giant in honor of, and kind of bring awareness that, COVID is way more serious than I feel some people are taking it. So,
right. Well, first of all, I'm so sorry for both of your losses.
Thank you.
And I agree. I wish that nobody ever had to go through that, and that people were taking a lot more serious. And then I'm very excited to listen to the song, and I'm a little at a loss for words now. It's strange. I've done three podcasts today, right? And I'm a big believer in I don't know what I believe in, but I'm a believer in the universe and connections and things like that. And my father-in-law, my wife's husband, passed away 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry about your loss too, man.
Thank you. Super unexpectedly. And every one of these podcasts that I've done, so the podcast I did earlier, the artist's music is a little bit religious, and it's something that like I normally wouldn't even listen to or anything like that. Very pop rocky. And for whatever reason, when I got the email to do the interview from the publicist, I really just like was in a headspace. It was the day after my father-in-law passed away, and I connected to those songs so heavily that like now they have a place in my life forever. And I think that music is such a healing tool. And I really had an awesome conversation with that artist, and then I also had a really cool conversation with another artist, and there's been this like these stories that have intertwined, and I think that you know, we've all crossed each other's paths for some reason. So this song especially, I'm super happy to or super excited to listen to, and I'm sure that I'll connect with it. But I am absolutely so sorry for your loss, and
Thank you.
that's I think that song will be meaningful to so many people, and I'm glad that you guys are putting out a song on that subject, 'cause I think it's so important, and you know, I hope for nothing but healing and positive vibes to be sent your way.
Thank you very much.
So that's about all we have time for this week, guys. The Karma Kids for coming out, and I want you guys to shout out all your social media and where everybody can find you, because I mean you're probably coming across their social media anyway, because you're unavoidable at this point from everything I could see. But give them the shout out, tell them where they can find you. I checked out the Spotify. Your numbers are ridiculous. I'm so stoked at everything you guys are doing. I can't even describe it. So let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't yet.
All of our handles are Karma Kids IN, and then we've got karmakidsin.com.
Perfect. So go check out the Karma Kids, because at this rate, they're going to be the biggest band in the world in 2 years, because I haven't seen this much buzz in a long time. So everybody go check them out. And thank you guys again so much for joining me. And everybody make sure you check out Running Thin, coming out today. So where that Spotify, right?
It actually comes out.
Spotify, there's music video on YouTube.
So both Spotify and music video on YouTube?
Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, everybody make sure you check that out. Thank you guys again for joining me.